So, hello everybody. Welcome to Love, Life, and Medicine. We're your hosts. I'm Azuka.
Maxine.
I'm Ciamara.
And welcome to another episode. We're glad you guys can join us. We have some fun topics to talk about today. First of all, how's everybody doing? What are new updates? What's going on?
Ooh.
Theo, how was Burna Boy? Did we talk about that already?
Oh, we did not. But
okay.
I am a Burna Boy groupie, so it's my second time seeing him, you guys. Saw him at Madison Square Garden. Loved it. Amazing. Then when I moved back home, he had a concert in Detroit, saw it. And you know what I love about him? Despite the circumstances, he gives 110%. And that is what I like about artists such as Beyonce, but we're not going into her. I'm just saying, like, he is professional. Like, he was delayed about an hour and he still gave his all. I'm pretty sure what he wore, like, on stage was not what he planned on wearing, but it seemed like he literally got off the plane and started to perform. Like, he on it. I love that man. I will lick the sweat off of his 8 abs.
Ew. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay.
No, I'm serious. He is like, if you guys have not seen him in person, like you two and everybody else that's listening, you have to see him in person. He'll give you a show each time. It's amazing.
I'm not a concert person, but he is one of the people. He's one of the people that I would go see in concert because I need, like, I'm not like and with concerts I gotta be like right in front, like right there. I can't be all because then she'll watch it on TV. But he's one of the people, like, first of all, I also have to know their songs, and I'm not a big like know the songs person, but I know like every single one.
You know, he even threw it back to Tonight, and you know that's my jam. That's my jam.
Yeah, I watched it on the YouTube. I think they taped his concert in New York.
They did. He scammed me, but that's okay. I still love him. He's still my husband.
I heard good things about it, though. I've heard good things about all his performances. Yeah.
Amazing.
What about you, Maxine?
So just been busy, like back to school and just for the kids and like trying to do like activities, but then also trying to like rearrange certain things with my business and restructure certain things, rebranding and stuff like that, and personal, having time to like have time for myself, my husband, and all that stuff. So just been navigating that. Yeah.
What about you, Zuko? What's it been up?
Same things. Like sometimes I don't know. I just have these moments where I don't know if it's my type A personality, but I try to do like way too much. So I'm trying to zone in on one or two things that I do really well. Just saying. And then, but also having mom guilt, right? So like trying to make sure I pick my son up from daycare early if we drop him off early, or you know what I mean. And he had his soccer awards today, so I went to that.
Nice.
That was fun. Yeah,
that's cute.
Yeah, but same thing. Trying to live the dream.
Yeah, that's cute.
But let's get into our topics today.
Yes.
The first one I think that is important, and for people listening, you can go back. We're going to talk about monkeypox because it's blown up. There are a lot more cases. We probably knew this was going to happen with any virus that happens. If you listen to our last episode, I think we did our last episode. We just had an episode come out. It was the second to last episode, that we talked about monkeypox, what it is, you know, how it's transmitted, stuff like that. So I just wanted to give some updates. Us talk about, you know, maybe how it's being handled in each of your states, how the cases are, how many cases you're having, and then I wanted to give some updates on the vaccine treatments, things like that. So I guess we could start Maxine because you're in the ED and I'm sure, I don't know if there are a lot of cases. I heard Atlanta's actually a hotspot, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, so we've been having a lot of cases. From what I was able to see from the Department of Health, they're saying that there's about 625 confirmed monkeypox cases in Georgia. So these are cases where they've been tested. So I know now we're being overwhelmed, and at least in some of the sites that I've been, we were actually told we couldn't test because they didn't have enough. So we're referring them to go to the Department of Health. So I'm not sure if people are going to do that. You know what I mean? So I think that we probably have a bigger number than what we have confirmed. And just trying to educate people on the precautions to try to prevent the spread. But right now here, you know, there's no mask mandates because they took it away for COVID. So like people are just doing whatever, you know, and it's kind of scary.
Are you seeing, I know there's a whole issue with it being in the bisexual, gay, men who have sex with men population. Are you seeing that a lot in Atlanta or?
So the cases that we have, some were in those kind of within that community, but not necessarily too. Like we're starting to see it in other people. I haven't seen any in kids yet, but I definitely have heard, especially now with school kind of opening up, which is kind of scary. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we have started to see it much more. So just trying to educate people and things of that nature when it comes to prevention and as we'll go more into about like the vaccines and things of that nature.
What about you, Cio?
So you guys know I'm on my like work sabbatical, so I'm living like one of the people, in my house. So just been hearing what I've been on the news. Michigan has about 23 confirmed cases, but I heard the doses is supposed to be 2, right? Like after the 14 days, you get your second dose. Well, Michigan don't got enough, so they're only suggesting 1 dose because it's a shortage. That's ghetto. So what I've seen is like Michigan does have an uptick. The first one was, I got whatever an uptick would be, right? From 0 to 23. That's confirmed cases. But they don't have enough vaccines for everyone to like run and get, like how you would get a flu vaccine. They have about 2,000. That's not for a lot for a whole state. So they've just been saying, just 1 dose would be fine.
I really want to get an epidemiologist. We have to have an epidemiologist.
Yeah, we do.
We all took epidemiology, but to me, it just makes sense that if there's a virus that comes out, like, because we've been hearing about monkey virus for months now, right? So we knew it was here. But
in February or something.
A delayed reaction, right? Like, same thing here in Pennsylvania. We have just over 100 cases. Could be more, by now. The last time I saw it was over 100. But it's just, it's annoying and worrying that we always wait till, like, the cases go up and then we start looking for vaccines. Because the same thing here. There are 2 vaccines. One is Jynneos and the one is ACAM 2000. The problem, we're only really using Jynneos, though, because ACAM has a risky vaccine profile. Yeah. But the problem, and when I hope I'm saying Jynneos wrong, is Jynneos. There are not a lot of it. There's not a lot of it. So there are 2 things. First of all, I'm worried for a few reasons, right? We're moms, so we're worried about our kids. I talked to my son's pediatrician and asked them about testing and stuff. Not enough tests, not enough vaccines. So it's just like, okay.
What are we doing?
I want to have somebody come in. What is the process? Like in the federal government of when there's a new virus, getting and the thing is that we not have to make one. We have a vaccine. Having enough of it available on time. Like what's the impeding factor? Or, is it money? Is it, what is it? So it just always, but yeah, so that's how it is in Pennsylvania. I know if we talk about as far as treatments go, there are treatments, but they're only really treating the severe, like if you have severe, like if it's causing other symptoms that are really severe, like and you're sick and you're having to be admitted. Yeah, exactly. But other than that, you just go home and wait for. You should quarantine yourself. I've seen some worrying things about people being on this
train. I saw that video in New York City.
And she was itching. And the virus, the way the virus is transferred. So let's talk about real quick. Quick and dirty about how it's transmitted. You have to, it's respiratory droplets, but you have to be standing around somebody for like hours to get, so respiratory droplets. And then through touching the vesicles, because that fluid in the vesicles is virus. So anyway, but then I felt bad because you also got to go to work, and if there's nothing in place that says, okay, if you get monkeypox, you can stay home, you get paid leave if you work for the state, or there's nothing. So it's also we're in a recession. People have to feed their kids. They can't. So I can't really. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Yeah, like we tell people isolate and all those things, but it's like you can't control that, right? And you don't understand. And even like some of the things when I was reading where it was like try to stay in that room, try not to use just your single bathroom. And it's like, what if someone lives with like 6 people in one place, or like what can they do? They have no choice, but possibly spread throughout the whole family. Like that's the reality of it, is that we can't force people to isolate.
Yeah.
Exactly. And sometimes there's circumstances they can't. So I think from my perspective is just making sure with hygiene and disinfecting everything that's around you. When I go to work, I disinfect my whole workspace every single time. I've been doing that since COVID started, like more meticulous.
Exactly. And I'm always wearing my mask. Yeah.
So that's like normal now. My N95 that's normal for me. So everywhere I go grocery store, I'm still wearing my mask. People looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, I don't care. So.
Is it funny how now, like, I'll have my mask on, I'm like, why is everybody staring at me now? I'm like, oh, it's because I have my mask on. But I think that mask is not something that I'm ever not going to, like, when we're planning on going on a trip, we're all wearing our masks.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't think it's something because when you think about it, you're breathing, I don't know.
Especially, like, if you're in an airplane and you're on the 3-seater, because, like, if there's Premium Select, even, I was on a plane from Atlanta recently, and Premium Select had 3, 4, 3. And I'm like, damn, we were real close. They gotta have my mask. So, yeah, you're right.
So, we talked about the vaccine. Janae's, not enough of it.
Ghetto.
They're giving it to people. You can get the vaccine. They're doing post-exposure prophylaxis. So if you know that you had sex with somebody that had monkeypox within 2 weeks, you can get the vaccine or the exposure prophylaxis. Or if you just came into contact with somebody or you're showing symptoms or something like that, you can get the post-exposure prophylaxis. Anything else?
Oh, that's really else? Yeah. So I think for us, just to stress to people, just hand hygiene, disinfecting everything, literally, and isolating if you do happen to be infected with monkeypox, and then reaching out to the Department of Health within your state to find out where you can go get vaccinated.
Yeah. Or talk to your doctor, Google it. Yeah. All right. Let's take a break here, and then we are going to come back and talk about some dating stuff. Exciting. Relationships, dating. All right.
All righty.
All right, we're back, and we're going to talk about the latest dating sensation relationship that's taken over social media. I saw it in the Shade Room. I saw it on Baller Alert. I'm glad I read the article that you sent, though, Maxine, because I think that it wasn't. Anyway, it's about Mr. Wade, Ms. Wade, and Mr. Bryce. This is the couple that met online. I forgot the dating app. Hinge. Hinge. All I know about it is Popeyes parking lot. And what I read said they got married. He proposed in a Popeyes parking lot. But who knows the story very well? Because I read the article, and that's not what I'm gathering. I actually don't see a problem with the issue, with the story. I think the issue has been, a lot of people have been like, oh, no, you're not going to date me in a parking lot or whatever, or take me on a first. I don't know. Maxine, you seem to know a lot of stuff.
At least from what I read, the article, it seemed like they met on Hinge. They probably chatted, it seemed like they were both a good match and wanted to meet in person, but he had canceled 2 dates like that they had planned. Yeah. And then the third one, she had gotten a call and she thought he was going to cancel again. And then I guess quickly he was like, oh, let's meet in the parking lot. And I think this was during 2020. So that was when, like, COVID, during the pandemic, maybe things were closed and things of that nature. So they met in a parking lot, spoke for hours or whatever, and I guess hit it off. And within 6 months or so, like, he proposed.
They dated for some time, though, right?
Yeah, I think within 6 months or so, and then he proposed.
Yeah.
And then he, in the article, it says that his friend bought the ring, and then he paid his friend back, and then they got married maybe within a year or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of big, like, hoopla about this. I've been seeing a lot, even on that Why Bad. I saw it, like, people's perspectives on what they thought and about Black women and having to. People kind of felt like it was like a struggle. People were thinking that maybe she seemed pressed or.
She's 34, he's 44. She has an MBA and is like the president or vice president of some company. He has an associate's degree in IT and is a cybersecurity engineer for a clothing company. He's not like too. I didn't see if you just took like the pictures and the posts, you would think that. I thought they only went on like 1 day or 2 days in Popeyes, and then he proposed at the Popeyes, and then that. Well, I mean, if you think about it, they didn't have a lot going for them as far as the environment. Like, it was during COVID, stuff was probably shut down. Granted, he probably was. He says he was talking to 5 other people, so he wasn't taking it seriously until she put her foot down and was like, "If you're gonna cancel, then and then he scrambled and then once he met her, it seemed like a lot of their life views came into play, like similar. She saw everything he talked about she wanted for her future, and they hit it off. They dated some more, got to know each other, and then he proposed. So my thing is, when you know, I feel like we want like all these things, right? As Black women, we don't want to be. He knew what he wanted, and he took what he wanted, or he asked for it in a marriage. Isn't that what we want? We don't want to be played around. We don't want to be, talking in a relationship for 5 years. We want somebody to say, like my husband, when we met, he was like, "You're going to be my wife." Like, we're gonna, like, he knew what he wanted. He wanted to be married. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a game. So I don't really see too much wrong with what he did. Maybe there was an issue with the Popeyes. I don't know if they should have gone.
Yeah, I think some people felt like, and then in the article it said that she basically was like, "What are you doing? Are you going to move in? Because if not, like," so she definitely, like, so when they started dating, put her foot down on certain things that she wanted, right?
Yes.
Well, he made it seem like
I'm going to need you to move in 6 months. Mr. Boy said.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about? I
just
barely
met you.
know you." 6 months later, I was moved in.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I guess some people feel like, well, why did she have to do, say all these things? But then at the same time, I feel like women, you should be upfront, right? Because if you are dating somebody, you should say what you want and don't waste time. My issue more was, and maybe that's in the beginning, after, and maybe that's as I've grown, maybe giving grace to people. After you canceled on me, I would have been done.
Oh, it would be a wrap.
That would have been me. I wouldn't even gotten to the third time for you to call me. Same. But there must have been something that she might have liked about him for her to still give him a chance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't think it was that. I mean, it's, I feel I do have sympathy for people that are trying to date right now, especially when it was COVID, because it's changed. First of all, people barely want to leave their houses anymore. Like, it's weird, It's just, I don't think we can compare. I don't think I can compare what I wanted on my first date. Like, I wanted to be wined and dined, do this, do that. I don't think I can compare that to now, because it's just different. She didn't sound desperate to me. She just sounded like, would I want somebody? I'm not trying to live with nobody in those 6 months, but that's me. Her goals are different. But she said it. Like, I had certain goals. I was even asking about credit scores on the first date. Like, I want, I just want, I don't want any games. I don't feel like, I don't know. I just don't see it that's that horrible. I think as women, we need to be more vocal about what we want.
I think.
Yeah.
But see, what do you think?
What's your perspective?
I like the married people perspective. I think the problem that I had is how he presented her in that post. It was like she didn't need all like that picture, how he presented her, like in the post, it just was like she didn't need all of this, and I still chose her because she didn't need all that. We went to Popeyes, and it's like, okay, that's great, thank you.
Oh, okay.
For me, that was for me that was the problem. So you canceled on me fucking twice, okay? And then I do agree with what you guys are saying, like with more perspective. I actually like that you added your guys' before, because I was like, man, he trash. But I think for me, what I didn't like is how he presented her, because now that she is your wife, how you presented the story sounds struggly. Like, I just feel like we don't need to present. Not to say everything needs to be roses and everything, but there's a way you can present things. It's kind of like the guy was like, shoot, like the other, hit. Another post was a Nigerian or African man saying she wasn't the most beautiful.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like that.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That. Come on now, and he wasn't even cute. So I think for me, it's how
he was beautiful.
Right.
Yeah.
For me, it was like how you present your significant other, especially now that you guys are married. I didn't like how his post on Instagram. It just to me wasn't. I was just like, I thought you liked her, like. And
I didn't see the original post.
So the original,
article.
Original post, this because that is the story, right? And I think the people I think that was New York Times. I think New York Times knew what they were doing because they also presented it very struggly. Like,
yeah. I didn't like the way the journalist was kind of. Because I'm like, why do we need to know what she did? Why do we need to know her position and his position?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm kind of glad that we knew that because when you read it on social media, they made her seem like a McDonald's worker and him seem like a bum off the street. I think that these are two professionals that kind of knew. I don't think. Can I tell you
why we need to know that she had an MBA and then he had an associate? I think that they were trying to show something.
Show that there's a difference.
She's a black professional woman and she's either dating down. That's what I kind of gathered.
They also put that he's a cybersecurity engineer.
So they make like $100,000.
Money in IT.
Yeah,
$100,000 or more.
At all.
Yeah,
so
I
guess it depends on your perspective. I kind of like that they show that they're both degree having grown people that and I think it made the story sound a lot better than what I was seeing on social media, because what I was seeing on social media made it seem like she picked up some bum off the street and just was desperate to get married.
And for me, it didn't sound like that. For me, it was just like, look, I did the bare minimum, and she was okay with it. You guys are asking for too much. That is how I perceived it.
So that's how you pose
like black women.
Yeah, and that's what I didn't like.
And I think that might be how some people did.
Yeah,
but can I ask you? Can I say But there's not truth. I don't think you can ever ask for too much. But I also think you have to be realistic too. Like, because of social media, some girls want to be flown on private jets and be brought, have dinner on a yacht, on a 5,000-foot yacht, and it's like, but you live on Crenshaw, or you I'm starting to sound like Kevin Samuels now. I feel horrible, but I feel like you also have to this is what I'll say. You have to be more open-minded. I think social media has made it seem like fantasies, like even those people aren't living those lives. So you also have to be realistic. Like, if a guy asks me to go get coffee on just to get to know each other, I'll go get coffee. Now, will you have to step it up after that? Yeah, you have to show me that you can do both. Like, I'm okay with being wined and dined and then just, watching a movie or something like that. I think there's good, but I don't think that every girl should be expected to be flown out of private jet or have, somebody like, how Drake emptied Dodger Stadium or whatever stadium to have his first date. I feel like that's what the limit is now. And I don't know that that's healthy.
I agree with you. I think for me, it's not even that for me. It's how he presented her. And I think that really bothers me.
You have to post? Because that's part. I don't know.
I've been trying to find it.
It's okay.
Because it's just like the caption for me. He probably changed it. But the caption for me, I was just like, the caption also is what people use to, what's it called? The neighborhood talk. The caption is what people also use to post, because it was the caption that kind of grabs me in. And I was like, I really don't like that. Like,
yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's okay if you can't find it. I believe you. I can see that.
I do feel like as women, of course, what you should have things that you want in certain standards. And then you just find somebody who will do that for you. So within their means, like if you're going to date, you want to all these things, and then you're gonna go find somebody who can't do that for you, then maybe you shouldn't date them. If that's what you really want, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I agree.
That's why some people aim for certain guys, because they want the private jet and whatnot.
Yes,
Yeah.
But
it's true. Like if you,
I'm not even talking about private jet. Can we just not cancel on me twice and then say our first date was in KFC and then now we're married? It's like, you don't have to say all that.
What I liked
Yeah.
from the New
me
York
neither.
Times article was that they said what I like that she said was that their futures, what he wanted in his future, she wanted.
Was the
Yes.
same. Yeah.
I think that's very important because somebody can show up in a Beamer and have the nicest clothes on, but if your futures are not going in the same direction, then it's a huge waste of time. You know what I mean? So I liked that. That's a part of it that I really like, being able to see, like, not, yes, you want to see in the front. Like, I also want you to look, presentable, and I want you to, I also want to know that you can treat me well and treat me like I deserve, more than Popeyes. But I also, and this is hard to find, want to see that what I want for my future, you want for your future.
Okay, that's
you know what I
true.
mean? So I just, that's what I read. I didn't read his post. That's the only thing. So I don't have that to compare to, but I like that in the article. She said they were talking all night for hours, and everything he said he wanted for his future. He sounded very goal oriented. I don't know. That's just,
and I like that too. I think really it was just the fact that I'm like, why is it that you have to present us bad before you lift us up? And I think that was my issue. I'm like, you get married, that's cool. You want to be married. I don't like, that's great. But like, if that is your wedding announcement to the world, you could have done better.
Yeah.
That's what they're talking about, wedding announcement. Okay.
Yeah.
What I think he would have done was been like, she was willing to meet me in a Popeyes, but I'm gonna show her like that the sky's the limit, or she deserves.
Yeah, that should have been
now
better.
That is like, that's the way you word it. Like, because from what I'm thinking from the New York Times article, is that they met at the Popeyes because it was quick last minute. It was during COVID. Maybe that was where they were close, But I don't want him to use that as an excuse as, see, you guys need to lower your standards to Popeyes so that you can pull a guy like me.
Yeah. You're thinking that, right? Normal people are not really thinking about because it was COVID, because there were other places in the country where these restaurants were open. And they're thinking like, yo, why?
That's true.
Why are we getting?
Or he could have done like an outdoor picnic, something.
Yeah,
simple.
something. Yeah,
exactly. But
in a park.
I'm not. I'm not like projecting on their marriage. For me, it really was how he presented her. That really bothers me because I feel like you should always present your spouse in public in the best light.
In a good light.
The best light.
Period.
I agree.
Yes.
So
I agree.
Yep, that's true.
That's why I was like, man. It's kind of struggling.
And what is Hinge? Is that a new one?
I love you, Azuka. Hinge,
what is old?
It's been out for a while.
Have you heard of it, Maxine?
Last time when we talked about dating, CEO brought it up.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Hinge.
Yeah.
I'm still on.
That's been the first time I heard.
I'm still. All I know is what's the one? Not Everlasting. What's the one? eHarmony.
Girl.
And
the only people that use eHarmony are the baby boomers.
eHarmony. So now I'm a baby boomer. Okay, so thank you very much. eHarmony, and what's the other one that starts with a G? Not GoFundMe. What is it?
I don't.
Is there another one?
The one I you swipe left and right?
There's
no.
Tinder.
There was
Hinge.
No, there was two. There was eHarmony and there was another. Oh, Match.com.
Yeah, the baby boomers use those.
Okay, thanks, Tia.
You're welcome. I'm trying to keep you up to date for the single people that know. Please.
That one yesterday.
Yeah, I'm glad you aren't. It's ghetto out here, but we're trying.
I think God has a purpose for everybody, and I think God knew my heart and my brain and my patience factor, and He was like, "Nope, let me just give her the one right now because a time is coming, and she's not going to live through it. She'll probably end up in jail or
jail."
So I'm just, the things that I've heard, I don't know how people even have like I don't know. It's okay. But that's the new. But the thing about
it'll be all right.
You have to figure out how to navigate it because I think that's just how things are going to be now. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to navigate it. It's still struggling, but we out here.
We out here. Well, y'all out here.
I'm out here
because nobody ever invites me to anything.
I'm in the hot.
I don't be knowing
my
anything.
stuff is ending soon, so I need to sign my contract ASAP-ually.
We'll talk about that off the mic. I was about to ask you a question to put your business all out there. All right. And then we're gonna talk about Beyonce. I'm so excited.
That's my girl.
Welcome back. Today we're gonna talk about end the show with discussing the new Beyonce album, Renaissance, Part 1, right? Or Mix 1.
Act 1.
Act 1, sorry. Phenomenal album. I listen to it every single day on the way to and from work, while I'm walking, eating, breathing. It's a really great album. ladies. Some of my favorite songs: Energy, Break My Soul, Church Girl, America Messed Up, or whatever that song is called. Pretty much like Energy on down, and then when you come back around, I'm That Girl. The whole album's fire. What do you guys think?
Same. Well, I'm gonna have Maxine speak because she's not a part of the Beehive.
Yeah, I'm not part of the Beehive.
I'm not a part of the Beehive.
But of course, like I definitely respect her artistry, and everything.
Yes.
So I have listened to a few songs, and I like That Girl. I think it's very reaffirming, reassuring, especially even when you feel or you look crazy. Like, it makes me feel good. So I really like that song. But I have heard mixed reviews. Like, I have people who that they were like, they didn't really like it. So I think that's when I was like, oh, maybe I probably won't even really listen to the rest of it. So I don't know. From hearing what you guys have said, maybe I will take a listen to the rest of the album then.
Yeah, no, you definitely do yourself a favor and definitely do so.
Girl.
Yeah, it's really, really good.
Virgo's Groove, Alien Superstars, My Stuff, Cuff It. Listen, I really like the whole album because it just gives you a different vibe for every single song. And the transitions on the album.
Yes, the transitions are phenomenal.
Fire. I'm like, I love it. Like,
I don't even know of any other album that's ever done transitions like that. Like, it literally leads into the next song. Like, the beats.
Wow.
It's great. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a never-ending party. Like, you can literally put it on and it doesn't feel like the same album. Like, it feels like house, but it doesn't feel like the same album. And you know what? I'm also happy. I'm gonna be real honest. I didn't want no more Freedom Fighter songs. Okay, like I know
Freedom Fighter
songs. From
like
Lemonade?
like Black Power. I don't want no more of that. Like, I just wanted to dance. Like, Black people have the right to be free and dance. So like, I was so happy when she said she was bringing a dance album. I said, thank God, because we are tired of the Freedom Fighter Beyonce.
Yeah.
Okay, like we need to get out of
We just
that.
want to have a good time.
Beyonce back. Yes.
Exactly.
I love that one.
And she gave it to us. I swear to God,
She gave it to us and more. Can you let me know, CEO, please?
She gave it to
Thank
us
you.
and more.
Can you let me know?
Yes.
And maybe we got to be front row.
Yes. What?
Front row.
No.
Front row.
No.
She wants
second row.
I like to sit down. So I like to be the first.
You can't
row
sit down. Well, I want the
seat.
VIP, but just to sit down. Yeah, seat, but
not way to stand.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no. I don't want to be on the floor, but I want to be like, I want to be close enough. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All
yeah,
right.
for sure. I kind of want to see it in a different country.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah, that would be nice.
I also hear that the tickets don't sell out as quick in a different country.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that because I was like, here, I don't know how we would get the tickets. You'd have to know somebody that knows somebody.
It'd be crazy.
No, you just have to take off work that day. Mm-hmm.
And you just be like on a computer.
Yeah, that's what I did. 5 seconds. That's what I did to Beyonce, to Michelle Obama's tour. I took off work that day. I claimed I was sick. That was a good sick day to use. Because Beyonce's tickets are gonna go like probably in 2 minutes. They are.
Yeah.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yes.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And she's like 41 now, apparently. Well, 40. Like,
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, she's not gonna. Although Janet Jackson's still touring, so I don't know. But it's gonna become a lot fewer.
It's gonna become a lot fewer. So we got to see her. This album is everything. Like, what I like about this album is it gives you sexy, it gives you confidence, it gives you dance. Like, you are truly living your best life when you are listening to this album. Like,
it makes you happy. It just makes
you
happy.
Does. Right?
It makes you extremely happy. I feel like I'm in a ball gown in the club, walking on the runway, on my way to work.
Right.
It's a phenomenal
Okay.
album. Yes, I love it. Yep. So if you have not listened to the album, I recommend you do. And for me, I'm not a Beyonce fan. Like, I like her music, but I'm not like a Beehive person. And I'm not all into like albums and stuff. But for me to say that this is a good album, it's a fantastic album. I really like it. And it's good to work out too because it's very high energy. It's really good.
And she dedicated it to her Uncle Johnny, who passed away from HIV/AIDS in the 80s, I believe. And also she talks about it in one of her songs. Uncle Johnny made my dress that cheap that's not made out of cheap spandex. It's like in the, I forget which song it is out of. I think it's Pure Honey. I'm not sure. But Uncle Johnny, she shouted out Uncle Johnny, rest in peace. And I think she really made this song so the LGBTQIA plus community can be visualized. Because a lot of, even though they're on a lot of, like, they are present in a lot of songs, they're not getting the visibility that you would think. Like Big Frida is on a lot of remixes, but that Break My Soul, Big Frida is the one that made that song pop. Like if Big Frida was not on that album, I don't think it would have, or that song, I don't think it would have popped as much. So I'm glad that she's putting the writers, the Vogue culture, the houses, all of that into the forefront so they can get the money that they deserve, you know?
Yeah. Especially in the Black community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
all right, ladies. So, to everybody out there, please, if you like this episode or if you like what we're doing, please subscribe. Please send us DMs, send us messages if there's anything that you want to talk about, anything you want to know about, anything you want us to explain, anything happening for you guys that you want everybody to know about. Max Shay Seasons.
Yes. So check out Shay Seasons. We kind of are working on restructuring some things. But we're going to be having some sales and things of that nature for the fall. So ShaySeasonsShop.com.
Perfect. All right. So we will see you guys next time. Enjoy, be safe and free. Bye, guys.
Bye.